All right, traders, this is Blake Morrow. You are listening to the Morning Edge webinar. I want to welcome you all back. The dollar, actually, the euro is near its highs of the session. I shorted a little bit of euro overnight around these levels, so we'll see. We'll see. Also, let me see something. What's really interesting is I've been keeping an eye on this. I've been keeping an eye on the Euro New Zealand. The reason why I'm watching this one, take a look at this descending triangle, okay, descending wedge, if you will. If for some reason the euro reverses course, I keep an eye on this thing. We're above like 152 or so. Things gonna get pretty bullish. I'm keeping an eye on it because I'm pretty bearish to Kiwi at this point. I'm bearish to euro too. I think that the euro could drop, euro could drop another 100, 200 pips from here, but the Kiwi could really drop like 500. You look at this channel, or maybe even more than that. I mean, we're approaching the neckline of the head and shoulder pattern, right? So if you look at the Kiwi, all right, if this thing, I mean, we're below the 200-day moving average, but like, let's say this thing wants to get going. And you're talking about, 65 cents, right? So, I mean, if the Kiwi starts to break down, I mean, like I said, the euro may break down and lose another 200 pips from here, but the Kiwi may lose another 500. So if the Kiwi loses 500 and the euro loses 300, or let's say 200, that means the Euro New Zealand, wherever the hell I'm at, okay, that means the Euro New Zealand will be up here, probably about 170. So I'm keeping an eye on the both of those because I think that they're, they've got the potential to move. Okay, and the Kiwi has the potential to really start breaking lower if we start taking stops below 70 cents. So I just want you guys to keep an eye on that particular pair. Whew. Not necessarily for today. I'm talking maybe. I don't know if today is the day you really want to be buying this thing, but I'm just talking, near term. This Kiwi is, like I said, it's not pretty looking. We're 3 pips off the lows, and I like it on the short side. I shorted some at 30, and I'm just gonna kind of sit in it and see see if, not necessarily what happens, but see if we break below the 70-cent level. Okay. All right. Let's go into our analysis. So if you didn't know why I shorted the euro dollar here, I'm basically short the euro dollar at 62. All right, and I had an order out overnight. Of course, this is as you guys know, this is the breakdown point, right? I mean, this is you go back out to March of 2015. The low here was 104.62. The high overnight is 104.71, and we were just up in the 70s or in the 60s just a moment ago and just got whacked right back down. Why? Because there's probably a wall of sellers sitting here. Not just me, I'm just a little guy, but there's probably just massive amounts of selling at these prices. Look, people don't want to be long this thing anymore. Again, I can map it out for you, all the fundamental reasons why the euro's probably going to continue to go lower, but it's a divergent monetary policy story. We just got from the ECB, they might taper, they might not taper, and then we got the Fed just says, well, we're freaking raising rates and we're going to be more aggressive. You know what I mean? Not only are we going to raise rates, but next year it's supposed to be more aggressive than the market thought. So yeah, the euro natural direction in the euro dollar is going to be lower. Again, we're ending this year with back-to-back central bank meetings I say back to back. The ECB was last week, the Fed was this week, and now we're stuck with these decisions until let me see. Is it next? Let me make sure what it's January. I just want FOMC. Just give me a second. Schedule 2017, 2017. We're stuck with what we've got until January 31st, right? Like until we hear back from the Fed. So really for the next couple months, all I know is the Fed's raising rates and the ECB is still thinking about tapering, like the dovish taper. Not even, you know what I mean? So with that being said, you wonder where these flows are going to come from. Resistance right now, we may rally to 105. I have to imagine if we can get to, oh, I forgot my bias chart. If we can get to 105, I'm going to sell more. Sell more, Mortimer, sell more. More. Turn off them machines. All right, 1.05. This will be key. Okay. Trend is bearish. Oh no, the trend in the euro flipped to bullish today. I'm joking. I didn't do that. It's Friday fun day. Friday fun day. Okay, so where's support? Well, support's going to be the lows from yesterday. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's just, you know, I mean, maybe, we might have some support at 104. It was the 127% extension, right? We did stall there for a little bit, but I would say 104 and 103.65. So I'll just write them both down because I really don't think we're going to get much below 104 today. Like I don't think we're going to see 103.65 today. Yeah, great. Good housing data that we've got today. Wow, whoop-de-doo. And, is it going to push us to new all-time lows or new multi-year lows? Probably not. If we get good housing data, it might push us down to 104. Maybe. All right. Hold on. I'm almost going to sell some pound right up here. Take a look-see. I'm not trading the cable. Screw that. Remember the pound yesterday? So we drew this yesterday. Remember drawing this yesterday? It's still there. That's pretty good, huh? Pretty good. Not bad for a amateur, right? Nice little garlic pattern. Boop, 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 boop. Close, and then beep. Beep, boop, beep, bop, bop, beep, boop, 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 beep, boop, boop, boop. So let's say we get a rally in the cable. I have a little double bottom here, but I doubt it. I really doubt it. I think you got to sell it at 125 if you can get it. If we get it up to 125, I think I'm a seller. We're just above 125, 125.10. 125.10. The trend has turned back to bearish, and if you wonder why, and you go, why, Blake? Why? Because we broke through. This is a wedge. I know it's hard to see, but if I can, here, let's get rid of some stuff. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. We'll keep that. Let's get rid of, let's keep that. Let's get rid of that. And let's do this. Okay. It's really like a breakthrough this level right here. I mean, now that we've broken through that trend line, the pressure is going to be on the downside. So A move up to 125, I think, is a good short. I think what we're doing is we're going to move back to the low 120s. Is the euro, drifts down to like 102, I think the pound's going to go back to like 122, something like that. I'm just trying to think out loud, not like, oh, this is exactly where we're going, and I know exactly where we're going. No, I'm just thinking like again out loud here. Um, we could be developing some sort of flag-ish pattern, which could be happening too. Yeah, that looks like these, or even better up there. So support roughly about 124 today, roughly. Okay, let's go over to the Swissy. I'm thoroughly upset that I'm not long the Swissy right now, but if the only reason why I'm not long the Swissy at the moment, and not, like my focus should be on the Swissy. If you think about it, guys, the when you want to talk about divergent monetary policy, you want to talk about divergent monetary policy. You're talking the Swiss National Bank and the Federal Reserve. The Swiss National Bank, their rates are at negative 3/4%, and we're our rates have risen twice, and now we're above 50. So 50, we're between 50 and 3/4. But that divergent monetary policy should put the Swissy so much higher. You know what I mean? So much higher. The only reason I'm not long the Swissy is because I'm scared crapless that there's going to be some European crisis, and I know I can't trade scared like that. It doesn't, it's like, okay, you deal with it if it happens, but I mean, I realistically should be long, the Swissy. That should be the trade that I'm in, because look, you know, we break this. Screw it, I just bought a little bit. We I had to, just a little bit, because if we break through this 103, 103.25, it's going to be huge, bigly, huge and bigly. It will be, you know. Um, but it's one of those things that you guys know that I've been looking at this thing for like the last, ever since here, saying, man, this is really bullish. I mean, we've taken out every downsloping trend line there is, in the last 15 years, and it's like, okay, why not? Looking at this move, why not be on the long side? Because man, if things get going here in the dollar Swiss, we can trade up into the fifth, like the teens. We can. Only reason why we're not up here right now is because of all of the issues in Europe. Like, because you go to the euro, you're like, wow, the euro's down at near parity, and why isn't the dollar Swiss back up here at 140 or 160? It's because there's a looming freaking crisis, you know, between Greece, Portugal, Spain, France, all sorts of, it's like, where do Europeans, look for shelter? They do it in the Swiss franc. But I'll tell you guys, you know, if there wasn't a European crisis, this thing would be 30 pips higher, 3,000 pips higher. It would be, we would be at 130 and not 103. But anyway, support should be at 102.50 today, right there. Resistance is 103 and a quarter, or take that back, 103.40. Support 1.0250. Resistance is what did I say? 1.0340. That's key. We start breaking that, and then you can say, all right, it's gone. Okay, it's trying to move to be bullish. I mean, it's building a hell of a base right now. Okay, dollar yen. It's dollar yen. You think about the Dow. The Dow. I mean, we are how many points away? Futures are up. Our futures are down 20 points. We're We are, 150 points from hitting 20,000. Are we going to do it? I don't know, but if we make a run for it, my assumption is the dollar yen's going to 120 first. And I've tried to short this thing. I've shorted it. I've shorted it like probably over the last couple of days, probably like 5 times with limited success, very limited success. I got run over. Well, actually, I could say overall I've lost money because I got run over on on the right here. I sold it at 116.30 and I've covered it at like 117. It's like I got smashed right there, and I've made little bits of money shorting it the last few days or last 36 hours maybe. But this thing's it's hard fighting this trend, right? It's hard fighting this trend. I mean, you could imagine if we take out 1862, how many stops are sitting above here? How many? How many people are, I got big balls. I'm going to just short the dollar yen here because it can't go any higher, right? I mean, there's got to be a lot of people. Believe me, I've been one of them at least 5 different times over the last 24 hours. Okay, I actually shorted the dollar yen last night. I covered it before I went to bed. I like lost 5 pips. I shorted on that little tweezer top. Made a few pips. But like, I mean, it's a hard trade. So if we take out 1865, it's going to squeeze. It is. And remember this trendline support we drew yesterday? Here, I'll have to draw it again. It held. Yeah. It was holding. And I was looking at this possible head and shoulder pattern. Didn't do it. No follow through. So in order, I'm going to have to say this. In order for the dollar yen to actually start to see some selling, like, like oh my God, here comes the dollar yen kind of, it's going to roll over now type of selling. We have to break through this zone, that zone right here. This zone, right? So that low right there, 1765, that has to break. Okay. It's bullish. It's hard. It's a hard trade to fade. Again, I've been trying to do it, and it's very hard. Very hard. Dollar Canadian. Dollar Canadian. I mean, so we stopped yesterday at the 618, right? We hit the 618. Boop. Now you have to imagine, okay, any dip is going to be bought, but it's like, okay, well, any dip, and I would think any dip down to here, but we're not even dipping to 133. I would think any dip down to 133, you're going to find buyers now. Everybody's like, oh crap, here comes the, yeah, see, 132.89, that's a 38% retracement. That is, you think about stops getting taken below 133, everybody gets stopped out, then you buy it at 132.90. Okay. You want to be free? Be free. You want to break out? Break out. 134.20. Wanna be free? Be free. It's the songs in my head. It is bullish. It turned bullish. We turned back to bullish when we stopped right at the 200-day moving average, and that the multi-year trend line. And after the Fed went, now it's bullish, man. Be careful getting in the way of this bad boy. Especially with crude failing above $52. I mean, that's like a, man. I mean, and like spec longs are like at all, like nearly all-time highs in crude right now. you know, and they're just getting destroyed because they all went balls to the wall long when it broke above 52 bucks. Yeah, because it was the big inverted head and shoulder pattern. Remember the big, yeah, yeah. Well, you can see why some of those they don't work that often. All right, I'll be back in a few minutes. When I come back, we're gonna do the Kiwi, Aussie, dollar index, peso, Swedish krona, Norwegian krona. Don't go anywhere. Hi traders, this is Blake Morrow. You are listening to the Morning Edge webinar. Dang, this Kiwi just hit new lows. Yes, drop you pig, drop, just drop, drop. Um, Canadian just hit new highs too. You know, it's crazy. Well, we're going to go over the Swedish krona, but man, that thing is just, the thing is just, looks like a runaway freight train. It really does. Really does. Okay, let's go over to the, I think we were on the Kiwi, so let's go over to the Kiwi. All right, so here's the Kiwi dollar. Kiwi just hit new lows, and remember, there's two levels of support really that we have to watch. 70, obviously. But more importantly, I think, is going to be 69.50. Okay, that is because that's the neckline for the head and shoulder pattern. Okay, the 69.50 level. So we're going to write down both. 0.6950. I'm going to put an asterisk there, and then 0.7000. This is another asterisk, just because you know, if we clear 70, it's a big round figure, you know, so if there's going to be stops below 70 because this is a really nice, you know, channel that we've been following too. I mean, it's pretty clean, you know, so there's going to be stops below 70, and there's definitely going to be stops below 69.50, and I mean, below 69.50 really starts to expose some serious downside in the Kiwi. Okay. So just, you know, just some heads up. All right, resistance. I don't even know where resistance is today in the Kiwi. I was looking at it earlier, and we had like this, the reason why I shorted it from earlier this morning is because I was looking at this, all right? This is what I was looking at. And we had this like little triangle thing here. So really, we have to take out 70.50 to take this downside pressure off. Okay, that has to be taken out. It is bearish, and it's going to be double bearish if it breaks through 69.50. You guys all know that, right? Let's go over to the Aussie. Okay, here's the Aussie dollar, right? You notice what we're doing. We're sitting here on support. This is the 88% retracement. This is the, do you guys know what level this is? Do you know what this level is? Take a guess what that level is right there. That level is, holy crap, I ran out of support levels to be long. That's the level. Holy crap, if it breaks, I have no other support. That's what that is. That's the, oh crap, I don't know where we're going to go from here because there's no more support. Yeah, if you're long, I mean, you know, it's your 88% retracement, right, of this move. We had that false. Remember, this thing is all about that false breakout. That's what the Aussie is. The Aussie is all about the false breakout I can't tell you how many analysts were so bullish the Aussie right here. So bullish. Copper's going up. Aussie's breaking out. Blah, blah, blah. And then they just got destroyed, absolutely destroyed. So now we're at prices where, if we start breaking here and then we break 73 cents, oop, here we go. We're at support right now, just so you know. 73 cents, that is asterisk 0.7330, support, we're on it. I mean, I have to write it because we're on it, all right? We're on it. And we're trying to break it, but we're on it. Resistance to take the downside pressure off is 73.70. Period. End of story. No if and or buts about it. It's right here. It's not that one. It's right here. Because you can see. You can see it here. See it there. Okay. Dollar index. All right. Interested because I didn't look yet today. Elliott wave for dollar index. Elliott wave analysis points to 104. 104.30. Oh, that makes sense. Okay. So this dollar index, we are, I'd say, building a bull flag pattern. That look about right? Some looks like this. Problem is, if that's what we're doing, we're starting to break out right now. If this is what we're doing, this is, quite possibly breaking out. Our resistance is, well, here, it's real easy. Resistance is the highs, and then this is support right here. Because depending on this flag, if this is a flag, like I'm just assuming that's what we're doing, but it may be like that, and we may just come right back down. It may look like this. Okay, we may just come back down here, make one more stop before rallying. But I may be, again, I'm just kind of winging it because I'm not 100% sure, as you never should be, So it could be like this, and we're breaking out right now. Hard to say. But 103.60 is resistance. 103.60, and that's major resistance, right? Major resistance. Because it's 161% extension. Now, support here will be 102.65. See, the problem, you know what the other problem with the dollar is? You know what the other problem with the dollar is right now and why it's so strong? Because people were positioned so wrong. How many people, let's go back to the dollar really fast. How many people assumed we weren't going to break out? And I'm not talking like, over the last month, but go back for like really for like the last couple months. How many people thought we were just going to be range bound and we're developing a rounded top? See, this dollar move caught a lot of people off guard, and then one of the other big issues here, and let's talk this out really quick. one of the bigger issues here, you can see right here, when we rallied right here and we came down, then it got the market short right here because we broke back below this breakout point. So there's your breakout point right there, and then we rally, we come back down, you get everybody short, and then it starts ripping higher. Then now you got divergent monetary policy, central bank policy, and then now we're screaming. So you had a lot of people that were thinking, oh, we've got a rounded top here and we're just going to go back down. It's a multitude of things that are weighing in on it. I'm just thinking out loud right now. Okay, because people are on under allocated dollars at this point. Realistically, okay. Um, where was I at? Peso. So I had I had some pesos. I had some U.S. dollar Mexican pesos short yesterday. Made some money after the bank. Whatchamacallit. This is one of the other currencies that I think might have some end of year flows. I am actually short a little bit of U.S. dollar Mexican peso. Not a lot, but I've got a little bit short U.S. dollar Mexican peso. Um, there might be some peso demand going into year end too, just because again, another central bank, one of the other only central banks that are raising rates right now is Banxico or Banamex. No, Banamex is actually a bank. It's Banxico, Bank de Mexico, Banco de Mexico. Anyway, 2030 support. Any rally should be capped at 2042 because that happened post, uh, or actually probably 2040. If you guys want to short it, that's probably the place to do it. Because if the dollar, starts getting wickedly strong, you might get a spike up here in the U.S. dollar Mexican peso before rolling back over. So 240, 230. I am trading counter trend, and I'm very well aware of it. Would it be better if I just shorted the euro peso? Probably. I just can't trade the euro peso, so there. Um, we are still bullish while we're above 20. Come on, Kiwi. Take out 70. You know you want to. You know you want to. Let's take a look at the Nordic currencies. Here's Norwegian krona. Man, that is the biggest gnat I've ever seen. A gnat just came up and flew into my computer because of the lights. Because it's dark in my office, but the um, computer screens, and it was like literally the biggest gnat I've ever seen. And I don't normally see gnats. It wasn't a fly, but it was almost the size of a fly. That's how big of a gnat it was. That's crazy. Not normal. Okay, U.S. dollar Norwegian krona. Say hourly. Say we're building a wedge, and this thing. That's 871.50. $864. 864. 871.50. That was the spike high, so Oh, look at the Kiwi go. It's bullish. Not the Kiwi, the Norwegian krona. Go Kiwi. It's your birthday. Go Kiwi. It's your birthday. Banana. It's your birthday. Go Kiwi. It's your birthday. Barnstormer said must have been a gnat from Area 51 or Roswell. Yeah. All right. Um, CAD new highs. You know, anybody who's short the dollar Canadian is probably like, mother, son of a gun. Go Kiwi. Dive, 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 dive. Um, Aussie new lows. Sorry, I know I need to do the Swedish krona. I'm just looking at all this stuff. Um, I should have shorted that pound. I knew it. Swissy's back above 103. Yeah, go baby. Euro has to break below like 104.25 to get them animal spirits back in. Aussie Nilos. Nathan said, my wife just heard you singing that song and started cracking up. Come on, Kiwi. It's your birthday. It's Nathan's birthday, too. Come on, Nathan. It's your birthday. Yeah. No. That's right. I'm short the Kiwi. All right. I'm sorry. I still got to do with the. I digress. Let's go over to the Swedish krona. Finish that up. Okay. Any move down to 930? This is the same as yesterday. This thing just. I don't know where it's going to stop. I really don't. I mean, that's kind of. Did we have some Swedish news overnight? Let me see. We didn't. We didn't. God, I'm tempted to just buy that thing right now. Buy that thing. I'm thinking about it. There's no news. All right, 931 support. Resistance. 945 is bullish. And beyond that, I mean, you know, we got 950, which is the 161% extension. I should write that too. 9, and I did not buy it. I want to. I just haven't done it so yet. Oh, the euro's starting to buckle too.